Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a team that is currently the #1 team on PvPoke, and it's going to be with the Corsola, but also the Dugong and also the Marowak. And this team was absolutely insane. I went on a 10-game win streak with this team. I lost the game afterwards then, but here we're going to take a look at how this team is going to function, on why this team is so good, and I don't even have the perfect Pokemon for this. If you see the IVs on the right side, my Corsola is pretty bad, and also my Marowak is pretty bad. And so, if you have bad IVs for this Pokemon, it's very likely that this team actually works out even better for you. And so, yeah, we're going to take a look here at this team now. We're going to have Dugong in the lead, which is honestly an absolutely amazing lead currently. Like, this Pokemon was so strong. We're going to have here the Corsola coming in against us, which is totally fine as well, because we're going to have our own Corsola, but we can also debuff the opponent first, drop their attack, and we can let them go for the full farm. Now, I have actually my Marowak here as well, because the opponent has their attack dropped anyway. It's going to be a very solid matchup for us. We can let a Nightshade go through. I would assume that they're going to sub out eventually. It's going to be a good run in the back, and we're going to be able to go ahead, go for the charge move there, swap out into our own Corsola, and we can even try to go for the full farm now at this point, because we are in such a good position. We see the Aqua Tail coming through. We will see Corsola trying its best to go for the full farm, and it does work out perfectly. And so the opponent still has 2 shields left, but at the end of the day, like, I don't think there's a way of them still winning the battle. I just have too much energy on my Pokemon. They decided that as well, and they decided to just basically forfeit here by letting the move go through. Electrode wasn't on the list on Pokemon that I would expect to encounter here today, but it's not too bad for the team. Well, yes, Wild Shot is going to be able to one-shot us here, and we have to use a shield for a potential one, even though it's going to be swift. At the end of the day, we can still get a ton of damage with a fast move in. We're going to still be able to debuff them. We still have a neutral play here with Corsola, which now actually going to be kind of fine because the opponent is debuffed. And we're going to have in the back a Pokemon that is going to be able to completely resist on what the opponent is going to do there, because they're not running Energy Ball. They're running Swift here, which they already revealed. So we know at this point that our Marowak here is going to be able to completely wall the opponent, and that is just going to be fine. We're going to see here as well that the opponent is now going to go ahead and go into the Gastrodon, and we're going to be able to go for the full farm now with the Dugong here as well, I think. And so this is looking really solid. As we will see here, the full farm run is going to be happening. I want to let the move go through there as well. This is totally fine for us here as well. They can actually still go for another Earth Power, which is kind of awkward. But now it's down to Marowak. Can Marowak still win the battle here for us? We will see the Electrode coming in again. I'm not too worried about this, because this is maximum a Swift, and that is basically it. So, yeah, as we will see here, we're going to be able to now go for some charge moves against the Primeape. It's looking really good for us. The opponent should be kind of out of energy as well at this point. And so what we can do is just go for another charge move. This is totally fine. This is going to allow us to get the KO, and we can go for the full farm run against the Electrode, winning us this battle. Next up, Steelix in the lead. That's going to be a little bit of an awkward one, because they have Thunder Fang I rather want to swap out. While we have super effective coverage, we still have Pokemon in the back that are going to be kind of neutral towards this as well, and they decide to stay in, which is totally okay. Again, Corsola, actually, I really feel like for Corsola, by the way, the IV spread is really important. We have quite a bad one here. And I see like a huge difference towards when I battle against Corsola and when I do my battle with my own Corsola. Just because Pokemon stays so long on the field usually, the more bulk you have, the more like you cannot stay on there as well, and the more fast move pressure you have. So yeah, we're gonna get out the Jumpluff here. That is totally fine, because you're going to be able to get definitely the shield here with the Power Gem. Power Gem would knock them out. And we know that Dugong is going to be able to go for the full farm down. We might have to invest 2 shields, but at the end of the day, we know that there's going to be the Steelix still there, where we're going to have super effective coverage against. But even if they're going to have another Pokemon in the back, at the end of the day, I will be able to just go ahead and go for the Icy Wind against them. It's going to be here as well the opponent's Annihilate, which is totally fine, because after the Icy Wind, they're still going to be forced to go for another charge move. They can go for another Icy Wind to drop the attack even further, so they had -2 attack now, which is really cool. They are locked in this matchup. I can go into the Corsola and just catch the move basically, and then swap out into my Marowak, and I can even go for the full farm on here with my Marowak, and I am not too worried about it. They don't even get to another charge move. And with this game is over, they have a Steelix and they have a 1 HP Jumpluff. So what do they really want to do? They want to try to catch the move here. It does not work out, and we're going to move on now to the next opponent, because this is going to be a very good game. Next up, now let's see who we're going to have next. We're going to have here the Dugong against Skeledirge. That's going to be a bit of an awkward matchup again. You kind of want to swap out here because your back is kind of fine. Dugong is fine as well if you have energy advantage, because you have the super effective hit there. But I decided to use a shield here just in case they go for the Shadow Ball, which they actually do. I was expecting a bait here, to be fair, because most people just go for the bait. But they reveal that they're going to have more pack on this. Looks like a Psychic Fangs to me. And it is a Psychic Fangs to me, which is really, really good, because now I'm going to be able to get either a lot of damage or like 2 shields here against the opponent. Stuff like this is going to be totally fine, because Power Jump is coming through. And while this is not a stab move, it still would hurt quite a bit against Morpeko, as Morpeko doesn't have a great defense stat. Corsola doesn't have the greatest attack stat either, but it is a very favorable matchup for us, and we still have our Mud Slapper in the back, which is going to be even better for us here. In comes our Marowak. We're going to be able to just go ahead and let the move go through. It is going to be the Psychic Fangs coming in, and the opponent is gonna be able to not really get to another move, which is great. We see the swap out into the Azumarill. I have to swap out as well. I was able to keep some energy here, which is kind of nice. And I decided to use my shield here because a potential Shadow Ball, of course, would do way more damage than anything that the Azumarill does. But we can go for a Dragon now. We still have a move stored, which might actually come really in clutch later on there as well. With the extra move that we have on our Marowak, and we just have to hope that they're somehow still going to be able to beat this Azumarill. We can go for some Dragon damage, but at the end of the day, I would like to wait until they go for their own charge move before I want to swap out. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for the... the opponent goes for the play rough. I can still stay in here, and I can even wait until they go for another charge move afterwards, and I still should be totally fine. As you will see, the Dragon is coming through, gonna get them low. I actually decided to swap out here straight away, go for the Bone Club, and with this, we're gonna get a ton of damage onto the opponent already, which is amazing. And we can try our best to go for the full farm down. They still get to another charge move. Ice Beam is going to knock us out. But now it's down to Dugong. Can Dugong farm them all the way down? We have a bit of lag, but it doesn't really matter because we can farm them down and win this battle. Next up, Corsola is not really ideal for us. Corsola is really not ideal for us, by the way. But it's going to be okay. We're going to still just try our best here. We swap out, catch the move, and we hope it's going to be the Power Gem, which it is not. It's Nightshade, and that is going to be a bit more tricky. I don't really know why people bait there, by the way, because at the end of the day, it's 5 energy to bait. Like, I don't know why that is worth it. But they reveal that they're going to have a Azumarill on the back, and so the game starts really bad for us. Like, it really, really starts bad for us. But we are not going to give up here at all. We will see here that we're going to be able to go for another Mud Slap. The opponent is going to have to take a drill run here, which is totally fine. This is going to allow us to get the opponent really low. And now it's down to Corsola against basically the rest of the world. I decided to let the move go through, hoping that there's something in the back that I can deal with. We see the opponent's Astonish Corsola coming in here. And I guess at this point I might be even able to go for the full farm down against them. Let's see how this is going to go. We're going to have the Nightshade coming in here. This is going to allow us to get the shield from them, and we can try our best to go for another shield as well, go for the full farm down here hopefully afterwards as well. And in comes hopefully the Dugong then afterwards, or do I stay in here? Let's find out. It is going to be the Primeape coming in, and so we have to be a bit mindful. We maybe have to catch a move here as well, and we might have to go into our Dugong to catch the move here soon, which we do. We get the free fast move in, which might be also very important here as well, because then we're going to be able to also outspeed them here. Drillrun is coming through. This is going to do a ton of damage. Drillrun, by the way, if you didn't know, does more damage than the Ice Wind does, even though Ice Wind is stab. Ice Wind, of course, has the big benefit of having the debuff move, and so it's generally the better move to go for in a neutral scenario. But here, it is actually better to go for the Drillrun because it allows us to farm them down, and the Azumarill gonna go down to our charge move as well. 1 HP in the Corsola. This was an amazing game. Honestly, I like those games quite a bit, and we can move on to the next opponent. Shadow alone Sandslash is not something that I see a lot of times, but they are running Powders now. I honestly feel like Shadow Claw version maybe has some play in the current meta, because you're going to be able to do some, I mean, both are fine, like Shadow Claw as well as the Powder Snow. Shadow Claw is going to be better against Corsola, which might be a very impactful thing there, but there are a lot of Pokemon actually that are currently normal and Dark type, so that's mostly why people stop running the Shadow Claw. But yeah, I feel like Sandslash definitely has some play, but then again, Annihilate meta. A lot of Talonflames are floating around as well, which is not really that great for this Pokemon. So not too sure about this Pokemon generally speaking. But here we're going to see the Azumarill against us. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for another charge move against the opponent. This is going to be fine. This is going to allow us to get here the shield up from ourselves. We can shield up the moves from the opponent. Player off coming through. We can go for the full farm now, I want to say, but they're going to go into the Sandslash. And I kind of messed up this battle, I think. I kind of remember that I think I messed up this battle a little bit. I go into the Dugong because I know that I'm going to be able to go for a charge move here. And let's see how that's going to go. We're going to have the Drillrun. Of course, I'm going to use a shield hit. Maybe I could have went for the bait there. I would have been easily able to survive some more hits then as well. But Drillrun is going to connect here. We will try our best to get to another move, but we cannot do that. And now it's down to our Marowak to win us this battle. Can we still win the battle? Let's find out. We have a bit of lag there. We see the Azumarill coming in. We can go for the full farm now, which is generally speaking quite nice for me. They go into the Starmie. And that is totally fine. Like, we should be in a position where we're going to be able to win this now because we can go for the Bone Club here and we just have to use a shield and we're going to have another Bone Club then afterwards. And I don't think that the opponent has some energy stored yet. I don't think there's any energy on the Sandslash and there is no energy. And so we can go for the Bone Club and this should be easily enough after all the time where the Sandslash was up against us. We were able to put them into range where one Bone Club is going to be enough here. Next opponent. We would have Corsola in the lead. Again, not really an ideal Pokemon. And here this time around, I played out a little bit. The last time I tried to catch a Power Gem, and now they reveal that they have a Rock Blast. So, Rock Blast is a garbage move. Like, literally a really, really bad move. It is the only benefit of having a Rock Blast on this Pokemon is that it's very, very cheap to run. Like, it's really, really cheap to run. But as you can see, yeah, it barely does any damage, and so I don't think it's actually the ideal play for this Pokemon. I feel like you need the Power Gem damage in order for the Corsola to actually be solid. Here we're actually going to be able to catch the move as well, which is kind of funny. But let's see on how this is going to go. We're going to see here that the opponent is going to have to take the Bone Club for sure. And this is going to be fine. As we have the shield coming up, Ice Beam is coming through. We're gonna try our best to go for some more Bone Clubs. We had 2 shields down at this point, but we're just gonna get the opponent low enough that our Corsola is going to be fine later on. So let's see how this is gonna go. We have the Bone Club coming through. We're gonna get the shield, but we're gonna even get another move off. And with this, we should be able to get both shields from the opponent. This changes things because now I can go for a Drill Run here as well. This is going to be perfect. It is going to get the near KO there. We can go for the full farm down. And let's see how this is going to go. We have here now the Primeape coming back in. We're going to get another charge move off. And I can take a hit here for sure with the Corsola, and we just have to hope that we can somehow fully farm them down. We get the free fast move in here, which is really important. This is going to allow us to survive some hits a bit easier, and we can still get to the charge move in time, which is really important that we get there in time, because with this, we're going to be able to now get the KO, and in comes the Azumarill again here, where we have to take the hit, but as long as it's not the Hydro Pump, we're going to be fine here. It is not the Hydro Pump, nobody's running Hydro Pump currently, and with this, we're going to be able to now win this battle. Wigglytuff in the lead. That is going to be, again, a very neutral matchup for us. This is going to be a matchup that we definitely can play out. We have here the Icy Wind coming through against them. The lead matchup is actually totally fine here for us. Dugong is so good in the current meta anyway. I feel like this Pokemon is really, really good. I don't know, I really kind of maybe want to take a look at this Pokemon even a little bit more again. But yeah, you're going to be able to go for the Icy Wind here. This is going to allow us to now swap out as well into the Corsola. We can take a hit. This is going to be the Earth Power, but they're debuffed, so I'm not too worried about it. And we should even be able to go for the full farm down, which is going to be great for us because we then have more energy for the Power Gem. But this is CMP time, and that is kind of silly because it's going to be another Earth Power. And yeah, this was kind of necessary that we took that damage there, but Nightshade is coming through. We are still going to see here the Wigglytuff. I guess it helps out with the Wigglytuff not getting as much energy. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Now, I cannot try to hope that my Marowak here in the back is going to be the Pokemon that can beat everything. And luckily, there's going to be the Dunsparce in the back. And honestly, I feel like this is a very solid matchup now for us. We have the Bone Club coming through, getting the shield from the opponent. We can decide to let the move go through here as well. Drill Run is coming in, and we're going to be able to just go for another charge move against the opponent here. This is going to be totally fine. It is going to be a Bone Club getting the shield from them, and we will try our best here using a shield against the opponent. This is going to be, again, a Drill Run coming in. We're going to try our best to go for another charge move. It's going to be the Wigglytuff coming in here as well against us, and this is totally fine because now the hard-hitting fast move user is going to be gone, and we still have a shield left for the Dunsparce, and Dunsparce should go down to another Bone Club. They try to go for the full farm down, but at the end of the day, I always still get like a few more fast moves in afterwards if it wouldn't be enough, but it is enough, and we can move on to the second to last battle for today. Azumarill. This Pokemon is going to be quite neutral here, and we're going to be able to now go ahead and go for the Drill Run. What I want to do maybe is just try to play the Zero Shield scenario out, but sometimes I actually decide to use Shield against playoffs as well, just to see. Like, it doesn't really matter. Actually, I want to see real quick on how the matchup, generally speaking, is for Dugong against the Azumarill if there's no baits basically happening. Where, like, Azumarill wins, where the Dugong wins. It is a very, very neutral matchup. Like, it's literally one of the most neutral matchup ever because you're going to have resisted fast moves, all 3 turn fast moves as well, and then charge moves are going to be one is stab but takes a lot of energy. The other one is non-stab but it's a really good charge move, generally speaking. Apparently Dugong wins in the one shield scenario, and so you should always try to play out the one shield scenario, I guess. 0 and 2s, Dugong cannot win against the Azumarill, And so that is going to be quite an interesting fact there. We will see here though, Annihilate, we're going to be able to go for the Nightshade here against the Azumarill again, as we were able to get some nice energy there. We will see the opponent trying to go for another charge move. We can use a shield. And I guess we can go for the full farm now afterwards. They revealed that they have their own Corsola in the back, so it was a very smart shield by me. We might be even able to reach another move in time, but I'd rather decide to swap out here into my Marowak and try to damage them a little bit. Get a free fast move in here as well, which is going to be very cool, because now I can kind of plan on when to go for the Bone Club, but as I see here as well, we're actually going to be able to go for 2 back-to-back Bone Clubs here, which I did not think that we would be able to get to. Thought that the charge move would do a little bit more. But as you will see here, we're going to be able to get the KO, and Azumarill is going to come back in here, and there's no way that they're going to be able to win this one. In the final one here, we're going to have another Azumarill lead, and again, it is the best play for you, I guess, to go ahead and try to play out the one shield scenario. But let's see how this is going to go. We're going to see here the opponent with the Azumarill. We're going to try, I think, to actually play out the 0 shields here for the first time. I wasn't too sure about the matchup itself, but yeah, I guess Azumarill is just better in this matchup in the 2 and 1 shield and 2 and 0 shield scenario. 1 shield scenario is the only one where you can win with the Dugong, which does make sense, because if you look at the health here right now, you will see that they are just barely not in the Germnaa range, but I think you might be able to outspeed them. And like, if you see here the Germnaa coming through, I think we're just able to get to the next one in time if we would use a shield there. And as we'll see, it's not going to be enough to knock them out. I think we would be able to fully farm them down here at that point. But yeah, Ice Beam coming through, that's fine. We have the Marowak getting some energy. Let's see how this is going to go. It is going to be here in the back. Let's see, the opponent's Marowak. And we can go for another Bone Club as well. This is going to be totally okay. This is going to allow us to get some shields. We try our best to go back into our Corsola. And with this, we're going to be totally fine here, as the opponent is going to use their Bone Club. We have the opponent's Corsola, so we have the same backline. But we have like always a bit of energy advantage, which is really cool. So yeah, we're going to try our best here to go for the full farm down now. I should be able to do that in time. I should be able to get the farm down done. And with this, we are going to be able to win the battle as well. Like, we have now the energy that we need. As long as we're going to be somehow getting to the charge move with our Marowak, which I think I still survive a charge move from them. But they should be a little bit lower now, so hopefully they don't survive ours. But we actually win the CMP type. And if they're going to get knocked out here, we see that we were quite lucky because they had the energy already. They get knocked out, so we should have lost this last battle, but we won. And this was actually a 10-game win streak over, I think, 3 sets total. But yeah, this is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.